Okay, I am here at school. School actually just let out today, and I'm here with one of the school's most popular teachers. This is Clayton, the rock star math teacher, and he and I started having this conversation about Obama and McCain, and he had some really great things to say, and I thought, doggone it, I should be recording this because I really liked what he had to say. So, Clayton, it's hard to pick up where we just left off, but tell everybody what you were just saying.
Well, what I was saying is I am really excited about a McCain and Obama debate season as we move into the final phase of the election, because these are two candidates who I both respect as human beings. I'm personally a liberal, but I was very supportive of McCain 8 years ago. And
He's read both of McCain's books.
read both of his books.
What a liberal.
Getting to shake his hand in Balboa Park 8 years ago or so. And I'm very excited about Obama and Obama's push for change, New America. It makes me feel nostalgic for a time I wasn't part of. Like, I would have loved to have been part of the FDR sort of swell in the early part of the 20th century. So what I'm really excited about these two candidates is I think they're both coming in very fresh, and they both are obvious patriots. They both have an extreme love of country and human beings, and I'm looking forward to seeing them both lay out clearly their vision for America, what they want to see happen in the next 4 and next 8 years.
So there we go. So we were also talking about your political persuasion. You've admitted that you're liberal, but you've also admitted that with parenthood comes sort of new perspective.
Yeah, that's my dad is a registered Democrat, but he said he's liberal up until, he's had to start putting first myself through college many years ago, and now my little sister, who is a high school student, and she'll be going into college. And so he still holds these liberal ideals. I mean, he admits to voting for Jimmy Carter and being very Jimmy Carter. But, then he went on and voted for Reagan, and he voted for Bush. And he says, you're liberal up until the point where you get a mortgage in college and that kind of thing. And so now, as a new father myself, it's very interesting. Fatherhood has brought with me a resurgence of certain political ideals. Definitely environmental ideals that I hold. And just in terms of what we're doing as a nation to address both the lower class, the poor, and the struggling middle class. So seeing what these two candidates, because in my opinion that's the really big swing region for both these two candidates, is going to be the middle class. I've actually talked with some students that I think if it ends up being an Obama-Edwards ticket, McCain is going to be really hard-pressed to find a VP candidate who has the same sort of sway and has their pulse on the middle class the way Edwards does. So I think that's going to be really interesting. The VP candidate is going to be really critical for both of them.
Who do you think would be a good VP candidate for McCain?
I don't think he would do it, but I would love to see Colin Powell come back, and I would love to see McCain Powell. I think that would be... I'd be so excited. I was so hoping after his run as Secretary of State that Colin Powell would be able to seek office. And I think after what happened with him as Secretary of State and having to go before the UN with incomplete intelligence, hurt him personally, because he's another great American that I really respect, that I don't think we'd see him in public office again. I'd love to. I think what he has to offer the world, he is a Republican, but he's also a very liberal person. And what I like about the candidates that we're seeing, especially these two that are the front runners, is they're not completely towing their party's lines.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Yeah, if you thought that they represented their parties well or not.
I think McCain represents part of the Democrat Party, oh, look at that Freudian slip. I think McCain does represent some of the ideals of the Democrat Party, and I think Obama represents some of the ideals of the Republican Party. The Republicans last season liked to talk about being the party of Lincoln. Well, what candidate symbolizes being the party of Lincoln better than Obama? Really, you think about that. And McCain himself has, and during the last 8 years and before that, he crosses the line so often in his work. I mean, here's a guy who He's a Republican, but considers Ted Kennedy one of his closest friends. Joe Lieberman, one of his closest friends. Those to me are the kind of people that we want to be going out as figureheads to the rest of the world and saying, okay, let's work together. Let's work hand in hand. I'm not about a party. I'm about a healthy vision of America, and a vision of America as part of a global community. Not isolationist, not America is superior, but America as a partner.
I would agree. I would think a lot more Americans feel that way than used to. It seems like older generations are more party line protected, whereas now people are kind of looking at the man and the philosophies. You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think, like for me personally, one of the things that turned me off to Hillary was that I was concerned that in a Hillary versus John McCain debate, that there would be, unfortunately for Hillary, too much baggage, too much Clinton legacy, and we wouldn't actually get to hear her perspectives as a viable presidential candidate. There'd be too much like, oh, the Clintons in their 8 years did this, and the Clintons this, and the Clintons that. And it would be more about Bill than it would be about Hillary, and that would be, I think, unfair to the political process.
Okay, Clayton, in 25 words or less, because we could be here all day, but I don't know how much more room I'm going to be able to fit on my little camera here. In 25 words or less, if Obama and McCain were both standing here, what would you tell each of them to get that they needed to do to get your vote in November?
I would want both of them to be absolutely honest. I would like both of them to be civil with each other. And I want a detailed, clear vision and plan for where they see America 4 years and 8 years from now, both America as a nation and America as a part of the global community. I want the details. I love Obama's spirit and his fire and his push for change. And I love John McCain as just what I consider a gentleman with integrity. And I want to see this man with integrity who, well, this is way over 25 words, who has seen America through a lot of things, both as a soldier, a politician, everything else. I want to see where he sees America changing towards and what he wants to bring. And I want to see this young gentleman, who's older than I am, but he's still a young man, and where he envisions America going. That's what I want, in detail. I want to sit down with the two of them, have a Dr. Pepper and a sandwich, and just chew on what they have to say.
Alrighty then. Any final words for KPBS blog reader and listeners?
Other than if you're at KPBS, you're obviously looking at the most intelligent source for news.
That's right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck grading those final exams.
Thank you. I'm going to need it.
Bye.